Hey everybody, my name's Jamie Newman. I'm the founder of yourbestmanager.com and the host of the Your Best Manager podcast. And I want to steal just a couple minutes of your time today and share something with you that I think could be holding you back from reaching your potential as a leader and ultimately hold you back from achieving your career goals and making significant contributions to the people on your team. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw on this whiteboard, and you'll have to forgive my poor art skills, but hopefully you can follow along. But this is you, and you are here today. And where you want to go is over there, wherever there might be. And that's really the first challenge that we're going to look at is, where's there? I mean, there's tons of different career opportunities, different job opportunities, different business ventures and business opportunities, different projects you could look at. There's just so many options for where is there. And even if you know where there is, even if you know where you want to go with your career, you still got to figure out the steps necessary to get from where you are today to where you want to be. Whether that's a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you need the steps, right? But here's something that you know for sure. You know that in order to get from where you are today to where you want to be, you need to put in some effort and you need to focus. For starters, let's talk about focus. So, I mean, if you're going in a whole bunch of different directions all at once, well, you're not going to get very far from where you are today. And if you don't put in any effort, well, you're not going to accidentally become someone of influence. You're not going to accidentally land in your dream job, are you? So you need effort and you need focus. But something gets in our way, and I'm going to switch to a red marker here. There's actually two things that get in our way. The first one is fear. And the second one is uncertainty. And we'll talk about uncertainty first, because this just makes sense with what we're talking about. But if you don't know which direction to go, how can you be certain? How can you focus if you're uncertain? But the second one's fear, and for fear, I'm going to draw a big circle, and you probably know where I'm going with this because everyone knows this to be true. We don't like it, but we know it's true. And that's that we have this thing called a comfort zone. And on the edge of our comfort zone is this thing called fear. And when it comes to reaching our potential, and when it comes to focus, and when it comes to putting in effort, well, what if we fail? What if we make a wrong choice? So what if we start going down the wrong path that leads us in the total opposite direction of where we actually want to go? So there's a fear of being wrong. There's also a fear of, what if I'm not good enough? What if I step outside of my comfort zone and I learn something about myself that I'm just not good enough to reach the potential that I wanted to? So fear holds us back, and uncertainty holds us back. The ambiguity of everything holds us back. And if I were to walk away right now, well, you're screwed, right? But I'm going to share with you something. I'm going to share with you 3 steps of how you can actually overcome this and reach your potential. And step 1 may be a little bit frustrating because it's just so obvious, but you need to get outside of your comfort zone and figure this out. You need to figure out where there is, and that's really step 1. I'll put a big 1 there. And I'm not talking about anything crazy. I'm not trying to say, hey, you've never spoken in front of people before, get in front of a crowd that's of 10,000 people. I mean, we're talking about one thing, but if you're going to figure out where there is, if you're going to figure out what you want to accomplish with your career, where you want to be, what type of person you want to be in the future, you're going to have to maybe call somebody and get some advice. You're maybe going to have to find a mentor. Maybe you're going to have to register for a conference and learn something new. Maybe you're going to have to buy a book and read something. So you're going to have to do something uncomfortable in order to figure out where there is. Which leads us to step 2. You've also got to look inside at yourself. And you do that by evaluating. And specifically, I think you need to evaluate 3 things. You need to evaluate your team. So these are the people that are on your team. If you're a manager, they're your employees and your colleagues, and they're even your boss, because you need people around you that are going to help develop you and help you get there. But beyond that, you also need to evaluate your skills. And this goes back to, what if I'm not good enough? And so you need to take a look at what skills, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses? And this goes right back to team, because, well, hey, if you've got strengths, your team can help you amplify those strengths. And if you've got weaknesses, your team can make up for those weaknesses and improve those weaknesses so you can get where you want to go. And then the third thing that you need to evaluate is your why. And this is your purpose. This is what gets you up in the morning. Because, I mean, if you've got the right team, if you've got the skills, but you don't have a reason to do something uncomfortable, you're never going to get past this fear. And your why is what helps you get outside of your comfort zone. And your why is what makes you okay with potentially failing, because you're doing it for a good reason. And then that leads us, and that's step 2, that leads us to step 3. And step 3 is to build a plan. And that's my plan. And I say you need to build a plan because you need a system. I mean, it's not so much to just know where you want to go, to have the right team, to have the right skills, to have a good reason behind it, but you need to know what these steps are. You need to take these question marks and turn them into A, B, and C in order to get from where you are today to where you want to go. And I've got a really good idea of how you can build that plan. It starts right here with step 1. You need to get outside of your comfort zone. And again, I'm going to go back to this whole thing. I don't mean do anything drastic. I mean do one thing different tomorrow than you would have done today. I mean do one thing today different than you would have done yesterday. One thing next week differently than what you would have done last week or this week. I'm talking about very, very small things. And I've got a really good suggestion for you right now, because I'm going to give you an opportunity to step outside of your comfort zone and do something different next week. And I'm going to erase, if I can, I'm going to find an eraser here, because what I'm doing next week is I'm running a 5-day leadership challenge where I will teach you not only these 3 steps, like what they are, but I'm going to teach you how to actually do it. So over 5 days, you're going to learn how to get out of your comfort zone to find out what you want to do. So get out, find out, that's step 1. I'm also going to teach you how to evaluate your skills, your team, your why, and then I'm going to help you build a plan. I'm going to help you actually put a system in place so that you can get from your point A to point B to point C without, wandering off and losing your focus, because you're going to put in the effort, right? And so here, why don't I tell you what it looks like? Writing 3 steps on the board doesn't really help out too much. So what happens is when you register for this 5-day challenge, first thing you're going to do is you're going to get a link to download a workbook. This is my workbook. And your workbook is really the follow-along guide for the entire training. But then you're going to get a daily email from me for, you guessed it, 5 days. And that daily email is going to include 2 things. It's going to include a lesson, which will be about, 5 minutes to read, not very long at all. And then you're also going to get a challenge for the day, and that challenge is going to cost you a whopping 15 minutes. And that challenge is going to help you go through the 3 steps. And then I'm also going to hop on Facebook Live and basically unpack that lesson in about 5 minutes, and then answer any questions and give you some answers and really help provide some support through a Facebook group. I don't have a picture for Facebook group. Maybe I can draw one. Facebook group. You like that? And the Facebook group really gives you some support and extra access to me for the full 5 days. So really, you're getting an entire system, an entire program, and all you have to do is go over to yourbestmanager.com/challenge. This thing is literally starting next Monday. It's going to be February 13th through, the 17th. And all 5 days you get free live training and free daily emails and a free workbook. And basically, I'm going to walk you through these 3 steps. I'm going to walk you through how to get outside of your comfort zone and how to uncover where you actually want to go. I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to show you, and I'm going to help you evaluate your team, evaluate the people that surround you, how to evaluate your skills and find out where your strengths and weaknesses are, how to evaluate your why and set priorities. And then I'm going to teach you how to take all that information and basically build a plan that you can execute so you can actually go after and start going in the right direction with confidence, get through that fear, and give you some focus. So anyway, I'm really excited about it. yourbestmanager.com/challenge. Sign up today. Starts on Monday, and I can't wait to see you.